Hey, internets. It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Skymetal Iron Gods, Chapter 2, Lords of Rust, Part 11. And in just a moment, I'm going to turn things over to Vi. I'm just going to do a couple of super quick announcements. I know we normally do announcements, then get into the game, but um, just wanted to let you know that, or remind you that, one, for the month of July, Mini Terrain Domain will be taking a hiatus. We're going to go on a summer break, so there won't be any game streams throughout the entire month of July. In addition to that, because of scheduling and summer and all that good stuff, tonight is the final Skymetal game until August 5th. Normally we would play on the 24th. Some people aren't available. That's fine. So, because of our bi-weekly schedule and the hiatus, Skymetal will be returning on August 5th. In fact, that full week, that first full week of August, the 4th, the 5th, and the 7th, will be the return of the 3 MTD streams. The only other thing that I wanted to mention before I turn things over to Vi is the all-important reminder to you that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. Whether you believe it or not, it is true. There are any number of reasons why you or somebody you know might be struggling. The last thing we want, though, is for you to struggle to find the help that you need. That's why we've made it as easy as possible. Just come into the chat anytime, day or night, whether we are streaming or not, doesn't matter. Type !help, and a couple of URLs will pop up. That same information is located at the very bottom of the stream here and will be showing up throughout the entirety of the stream. Those URLs are findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to visit those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I turn things over to our game master, Vi.
Been a bit since we last played, but for a little bit of a recap, all of you had returned from the wreckage, getting some technological treasures in tow. You brought this back to the Shadow Den. And there, you were given some information upon the of the Lords of Rust that dominate Scrapwall underneath Hellion's great banner. You learned of how Mayenda, the Lord of Rust, has been absent from Scrapwall, which the four of you know why. But now in her absence, Kulgara, that being Yrsimagor's sister, is vying for her spot. Kulgara herself has been nowhere to be seen. Normally, she watches over the excavation at the dig site here, on the eastern side of Hellion's domain. Something important, the rebels in the Shadow Den imagine, has summoned her to Hellion's side, deep within his lair beneath the earth. Hellion himself has been seeking a new Lord of Rust to replace the missing cleric, Mayenda. He wants someone faithful and powerful from Scrapwall to serve him. And there are two clans, the Ghost Wolves and the Skymetal Hawks, who seek to have their own leadership promoted up to Lords of Rust. And now a gang war has erupted between the two of them. Helskarg, the Troll Lord of Rust, has offered her arena to settle this once and for all, a contest of blood and rusted steel for Hellion's favor. Any who can challenge Helskarg and give her a good battle will be entitled as a Lord of Rust. The Shadow Rebels say that this is a perfect way, perhaps, to infiltrate Hellion's inner circle. Beware, though, for she is a slayer of 1,000 men, and her troll blood has let her survive injuries that any weaker being would surely perish from. And scouts had gone in to the choker tunnels to the southeast of the core. And their theories were true, that there is an access to Hellions' lair deep beneath the earth from these choker tunnels. But, however, it goes through the lair of the Red Ghost. Only one scout survived that encounter. And she was not in good sorts when she survived it. And lastly, the Shadow Rebels told the group that they had caught wind of a man that Toy had asked earlier about. A tiefling that eyewitnesses report had tried to escape, bloodied, desperate, from the old Technic League ruins up to the north of town. Only then to be chased down by and overwhelmed by grotesque machines of meat and metal. You followed up the lead of this scout upon her encounter with the Red Ghost, because you yourselves had encountered a Red Ghost in that wreckage. However, speaking with her name being Volusia, she spoke of it as this strange psychic monster with a tail that bloomed like a flower that butchered her scouting team deep beneath the earth in those tunnels. It was eyeless, it moved about swiftly, climbing the tunnels as if it were a spider. And she herself has a map of the maze itself burnt into her retina. So the group of you comforted her, getting what information you could from her and letting her feel safe and comforted and welcome, and hopefully going to recover well soon, especially with the help of the Orumvarax donut, who is also in need of a bit of comfort. And the two of them will become bedside healing recovery companions for the next little bit. Lastly, Yrsimagor, you did a bit of asking around last session as well. You had asked Whiskafis, that being Veris' venerable father, to turn that red scatter suit that you found into something that's more befitting of you, something like a shield that could take advantage of its otherworldly materials. You also spoke with Bree, the technomancer in this rebel organization. You learned that she used to be a Technic League member alongside Conir Bane, the council member that you rescued from Torch, before the two of them defected together and went into hiding. You asked her about Doombringer Osmond Zane, the one who captured your companion Zari. She does not know why Osmond Zane told Daeralei to meet him at the summit of Silver Mount. You asked her what. She still does not know what an AI is, the strange word that was in that Androphin message that's played over the speakers in that old, broken, complex wreckage that you went to. And she's currently tinkering with what she calls an inhibitor facet, something that you also recovered from the wreck. But now, the four of you convened with all of this information available to you. I imagine all four of you standing around over the table that dominates the center of the Shadowed Den, illuminated by candlelight, a map of Scrapwall, just as it appears here, with pins and stakes put into various sections of town, marking key locations. The group of you are discussing your plans, what and how you make of all of this. Who is who what kind of plans are being tabled here during this conversation?
I think that Veris looks to Toy and, says, you were looking for one of the people that they mentioned. And I forget his name. The tiefling.
There was no name given.
Mm. We should probably decide where we're going first. Is that... And he looks to Toy again. Is that someplace that you need to go? You would like to go first?
I think Toy would still... She'd probably be looking over the map, but she'd be very... almost disassociative about it. So when Veris starts talking to her, it kind of spooks her a little bit. There's a slight, twitch away from the sound of his voice before she looks down at him. Yeah. I would like to go look into that.
You don't sound confident.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to think that doesn't sound all too concerned compared to how concerned you were beforehand. Is there a reason, Toy?
A little. I don't think he'd exactly remember me. But might as well try, I suppose. I just hope he's okay. Though, being told that he's been seen bloodied and bruised.
And then dragged away by meat machines. I don't think he sounds like he's at all in a very good shape right now, Toy.
Exactly.
Is this why you don't really want to go?
I'd rather not see that. But it needs to be done. And if I can maybe save him, even if it's just a little piece, I believe it would put my mind at ease.
Well, then that settles it. It is something that is important to you, and we should go.
So long as it doesn't trouble the rest of you and your
I mean, it
plans.
terribly troubles me, but whatever.
Oh.
Not to sound
Well.
terribly callous and all this stuff, but if you don't really want to go, then why are we even bothering? To be honest, we have so many other things we could do. But,
I do want to go. Would I rather have backup? Obviously, but
then just say that. We can't, well, some of us can't read your mind.
yes, I would like to go searching for him. That's why I came here in the first place.
Now that's more like our Toy, and less like you were pretending to be, I don't know, me.
Who knows?
Well, it sounds like we're going to... That was the one at the Technic ruins, right?
Yes.
And they
Up
were
here.
dragging him, you said they were dragging him back to the Technic League.
Yes.
Hmm.
Good.
while we're going, I mean, you might as well take a look at scout out the arena a little bit. Yrsimagor, seeing as you might be fighting in there sooner than you think.
I doubt much has changed in the arena since we left. But you bring a good point. Yeah, I think for sure as we head towards the technically ruins, I do want to scope out the arena. And despite saying that I doubt much has changed, while the physical arena is probably the same, I'm more interested to see what the crowds and what the general area is like before we click accept on that quest.
Perfect. So as you go through, getting ready to head up to the Technical League ruins, you pass by the arena. In the arena itself, a great metal stake has been driven into the ground. And it's almost a bit like a posting board, where you can see about a dozen or so names tacked up on ripped pieces of parchment, nailed into the board on this giant post. These are all contenders. You can see people that are putting in their hat, so to speak, to enter the Lord of Rust tournament. There is room for more names here. You see that it will begin in but a few days.
If Veris is there with Yrsimagor, you should put in your name. Or not your name, but a name. That could be you, like a pseudonym.
Why would I put my name as pseudonym? I don't know who that is.
Well, that's the point. You don't want them to know who that is either.
Like a fake name, like a name that's not you.
Well, you go by Yrsimagor the Bear. Why don't you go by something like Ursine or something like that?
That sounds an awful lot like urine.
I mean, your name does kind of sound like that, so.
This is a good point.
Do you need one of us to write
No,
it down
I will.
for you?
I can write.
It's a legitimate question, my friend.
I will put my name as Veris. And then
And
you
you
see, very slowly, you see more and more of the teeth of the lower jaw next to the tasks. As in what I imagine is a very disconcerting look, Yrsimagor grins broadly, looking down at you, Veris.
Veris looks horrified.
Have you ever
Daeralei-
seen the orcs in Oblivion, the way their mouths look? They're just
Yes.
like, wait, there's like twice as many teeth in there as there should be, and that's what Yrsimagor looks like right now. I will head to whatever this sign up roster is, and I am going to scratch a name in, and I think it's literally going to be exactly what you jokingly wrote, Vi. He's going to write pseudonym phonetically, because Yrsimagor does not understand that what a pseudonym is, and thought that was the suggestion that you gave him for a name. So Yeah, I will scratch pseudonym on there. Or pseudonym.
And thus the great warrior Pseudonym has staked his claim to being a Lord of Rust.
Now you just have to remember to answer to that name.
What name?
Never mind.
Again, that disconcerting grin. Given that it's going to be a while since we probably get to that, I need to make sure I make a note of pseudonym. Is there anything else of note that would be different about this area? Maybe the arena itself since we left?
You would see that laborers beholden to the tyranny of Hellion are being forced to prepare the arena for the fights and battles to come, through like shoveling and leveling out the sand and dirt, rust speckled in the great arena, dragging out via long cords large mishmashes of scrap metal that would become essentially bleachers to watch, that would encircle the place. A great undertaking is being had to assemble it into a proper fighting arena. You would see, give me a raw percentile roll, please.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do a MTD.
Raw percentile.
Raw percentile.
Oops, I should probably mute my UDB on. 24.
All right. You look upon, or you see at the very far end of the arena, where it is built into or built out of the massive pile of debris that is the core Hellion's domain, his fortress. And there you see what you see is a throne at the far end, elevated above. And that throne is empty, and behind it is a curtained room. You can see a chariot below this throne on the throne. Sorry, you can see a chariot below the balcony where this throne sits, unused, though there are two laborers, small, very heavily whipped and scarred humans that are polishing and scrubbing off the rust and greasing up the wheels and whatnot to prepare this chariot. The chariot, however, you can see, or perhaps you would maybe even know it, is not intended to be fitted to any normal beasts of labor like horses or oxen or anything of that sort, but instead waist angled clamps that you know are hauled by none other than ogres. As you can see, the harnesses for them lying limp and being oiled up and tended to and polished by this laboring crew. Helskarg herself is nowhere to be seen.
Do I know if this arena battle, is this a free-for-all or a one challenger at a time kind of thing?
You would know that it is not a free-for-all. It is going to be bracketed, though the logistics of it haven't been fine-tuned as they are in modern sports. You know that you'll have to fight some of these people that are on
Okay.
this list, and some of them, as you look at the names, some of them are the names of not just individuals but of teams or groups of people. You see simply the Ghost Wolves and the Skymetal Hawks, suggesting that these combatants will be larger in number than just one individual. And at the top of this board, of course, you can see crudely painted in greens and reds and browns is a crude, grimacing, powerful face of Helskarg the Troll. With her great tusks and large nose, misshapen skull, crude, fierce, powerful eyes.
I think after signing his pseudonym, observing all of these and kind of taking in everything, I think Yrsimagor is unusually quiet. There's no boasting or bragging. There's no strategizing. All right. I've seen enough. And we'll just sort of start walking in the direction of where we were headed to begin with.
You continue along the narrow, winding paths of Scrapwall. And where ahead is what appears to be almost like this taboo no man's zone, where it's a bit sectioned off with the rubble. And beyond it, as you step over the rubble upon the ground, ducking underneath wayward pipes and scrap metal that make up the walls of this place, you see it before you. The abandoned Technic League ruins. It stands out like a sore thumb in the adjacent scrapwork that is the walls of Scrapwall. It is far too coherent in architecture. It is of these pristine, at least once, pristine wooden walls, stone walls as well, built out from the rubble that is the great walls of Scrapwall. It is now in disrepair, but the architecture is completely unlike anything that the Scrapwall people would make. It stands out. For those of you who are Scrapwallers, you would know that this was the base of operations 30 plus years ago, for when the Technic League oversaw and governed this town of Scrapwall. This was their government building, so to speak, where they did all of their operations, where they tried to hold down the population with military and technological might. This place was ransacked, though, 30 years ago, in the Great Scrapwall Rebellion, when the disparate tribes and people that made Scrapwall their home, unified for the first time, repelled the Technic League from these lands, and became the Free City of Scrapwall. Though that name, the Free City of Scrapwall, was very short-lived. as you know, Yrsimagor and Veris, that Hellion took up the lord of this place not much afterwards. But here, in these ruins, they seem untouched now by time. You see graffiti upon the walls. You see that the windows have been broken in, smashed by rocks and rubble and vandalization. You see just painting and vandalization, piss off Technic League, or, like other crude remarks upon the walls. Inside is dark. The door, what remains of the door, is closed, though. This wooden door is fractured in many places, and, well, you could probably just do the rest of the work if you wanted to, with no problem.
I 100% think that somewhere in amongst this graffiti, there is something that says Veris was here when he was little.
Incredible.
I think Veris is, before we bust anything down, Veris wants to take a look, listening for anyone, listening for any kind of, even I imagine there are probably people who scavenge around here, so listening for just anyone like that.
As you kind of look around, and you can give me a perception roll, please.
That's a 7.
You hear nor see nothing growth in the depths of this place. It is completely unilluminated, fully dark. However, as the group of you are perusing this place on the outside, a stray townsfolk, you could say, of Scrapwall stops, a few dozen yards away from you, seeing the four of you kind of perusing this place. This is a hobgoblin, you see this, and you can see that his face is half burned by a brand of Hellion. Though you know that these brands of Hellion are not from servitude, but as punishment. By the wear of this hobgoblin, the simple cloths that he wears, you imagine perhaps him to be a laborer. Maybe you can see by the gunk on his face and the dirt on his skin and the brown nails that he has that perhaps he's an excavator. And he growls out to you not in a angry, but almost in a warning tone. I wouldn't mess around with that if I were you. Place is haunted. Cursed. Best leave it alone.
Haunted by what? Seems a lot of places around here are haunted.
Nasty things I've seen from there.
Like what?
Growls I hear. Oh. Well, not me myself, but I've heard say of nasty monsters that lurk within.
Made of meat and metal?
Aye.
I've heard the stories too.
I know of squatters who took the place as their own. Never seen again, they were.
Ain't
When was
afraid
the
of no
last time?
ghosts.
When was the last time someone or something came out of this place?
Last I heard, it was but 2 days ago.
Does that track with the information we got?
Yeah. They say a devil of a man walked out, only to be dragged back in. I didn't see it. Let's be careful. You got the looks of scavengers amongst you. I'd leave this place be. No place for digging. And I think he feels his warning is landed well enough for him to continue on his stroll back to wherever he's trying to get to.
Daeralei would watch him walk away. Kind of track where he's going.
Mm-hmm. He's going westward, kind of from the way you came. So he's almost like two ships passing in the night kind of thing.
And where did he come from?
The south.
So like probably from the dig site?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, are we just barging in?
You said the place, the entrance to this place is a little blocked, needs to be kind of cleared a little bit. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, the door is closed. There's a bit of rubble. It would take a little bit of it's a little bit of elbow grease, so to speak, to get this place open. But it's not like firmly locked or anything like that. It's just a bit barred up.
Yeah, I will begin doing whatever's necessary to start clearing the way.
Veris, was there a back door to this place at one point? Or was this the only entrance?
And Veris is going to think, I'm sure he's been here a few times. Is there anywhere where they would, go to?
You would know of one other entrance. A side entrance. We go, if we're looking at it from here, we go around to the right and to the back a bit. There's a second entrance. You go up some stairs and into it, going into the second story of the building.
Veris will kind of relay that to Daeralei. We could always go that way.
Well, we can see if it's even viable. Maybe it's more blocked off than this one.
Yep. Veris is going to go and scope it out.
Right. You'd see a metal staircase supporting wooden steps along that side that go up to a closed metal door. The stairs themselves going up, though, are old, rotted away, and missing in many places. The stair is incomplete and broken as it goes up that story. You see, however, the side entrance up above.
How high is it? Sorry?
Like up a story, that'd be like, what, 10 feet? 8 feet?
So we could conceivably get up to that second story.
Yeah, it would just need to have to figure out how to get up the rotted stairs.
I don't think Veris would have a problem with that. I'd be more concerned about Yrsimagor, but then he could just jump up and that'd be fine.
Yeah, so I think Veris is going to come back around to kind of tell the others. There is another entrance, but it's wouldn't be my first choice. And he, does look pointedly at Yrsimagor.
It might make more sense.
Perhaps we should go that way, though. It's a little bit more hidden.
If the stairs are rotted out, then perhaps it's less frequently used. As I'm holding a piece of junk I was moving, I'm just gonna like, boonk, drop it.
Yeah, and I think Veris leads them back around to that side entrance. Maybe he will like climb up onto Yrsimagor so that Yrsimagor can like kind of boost him up so that he can get a good view of what's up there.
Yeah, and I think I'd be ready to assist Daeralei and Toy if they need it. Getting up to the landing there.
I would appreciate the assistance.
Does this thing, the platform that they're all going on, does it look like it's going to support a bunch of, like, 4 people?
I would say... I say that the top part would probably be quite good and supportive. It's just the stairs themselves that have brought it away.
Okay. Because, yeah, that's basically helping everybody to bypass the stairs and climb up to the platform if possible. And then...
I mean, too, we just need to get one person up there and then they could tie a rope down and we could climb up a rope.
I was about to say, Toy is very willing to, get up there and then tie a rope.
It's only 10 feet. I can easily... You
Jump.
stand on my shoulders.
You are not tossing me.
If you stand on my shoulders, you should be able to reach it. How tall are you?
That is a good question.
You're what, drow? So you're probably somewhere between 5 and 6 feet.
I am 5'10".
If you stand on my shoulders, that's gonna easily be around 11 feet.
Beautiful.
I think we established, I don't know if I have it written on here, but I thought we established that I was around 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I could just imagine. So Veris has climbed onto Yrsimagor's shoulders, and then Daeralei can get on Yrsimagor's shoulders, and then Veris can climb up Daeralei and be right up at the top, not to the balcony.
I feel like Veris and Yrsimagor have done this kind of thing before, where it's almost like an alley-oop kind of thing, where you're like, you're not going to throw me up there. Veris probably climbs up and just almost looking like wanting uppies. Once up on my shoulders, I grab hold of them and kind of just flip them up onto the rest of the way.
That is so cute. Little rat uppies.
And I imagine that's what precedes you saying, "You're not throwing me."
Yeah, Veris is like, yeah, me first.
I now want art of Veris, just Veris doing uppies.
We need art of Veris doing uppies.
We need art of Veris doing uppies to the massive Yrsimagor.
Yes.
Yes.
Toy would very much, if this is canon, mimic Veris's action like uppies.
We then need a second piece of fan art with Yrsimagor holding Veris' bridal style.
You said bridal
Yes.
style?
Bridal style.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like a horse, like a bridle.
No.
I was like, ooh.
Just hold you by the...
Like, wait.
Like, oh, that got dark real quick.
I was saying, are you asking for art, or are you asking for what, like slash fiction or something, or? I don't know where
gracious.
we're going here.
Takes a dark turn real fast.
I'm just helping my
Okay.
buddy up.
All right. So, Veris, you're going in through the top side entrance.
Yes.
Who else is going up through the top side
I
entrance?
think we're all. I think the intention is that we're all going to go up there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
I just need
Um,
to clamber up after I've helped everybody else up. I need to.
Yeah, so Yrsimagor, you're the only one that'll need to make a roll here.
Yeah,
for
because I'm imagining
athletics.
having to jump up, grab the edge, and kind of do a
Mhm.
pull up. So that what athletics?
Yep.
I will. I'm gonna roll in. Whatchamacallit? If it'll let me. There we go. Hit the right button. I'll be a rodeo. I'm gonna. Ooh. That is a total of 14.
That is good enough as you swing yourself up. However, you can feel the platform begin to groan underneath the mass of all of you as it shudders, and the rusted Skymetal and metal frames of this platform begin to kind of like buckle and groan underneath the mass. It doesn't give way, but it gives you a bit of a start as rusty flakes begin to fall down to the ground beneath you
Don't
as you
just
jostle.
stand there watching me climb up. Get inside.
Is the door locked?
Well, the door is not locked. It is openable.
I will then open it.
Opening it, you see a great hall. Well, great is a bad word to use here. It was a once great hall, sprawling below you. You're up on a balcony, like a U-shaped balcony, over this great room below you. This once proud room below you is now collapsed into disuse, into quiet ruin. This foyer. The walls of this foyer, you can see that were once lined with Skymetal inlays and hanging banners. The inlays themselves have been popped out, chiseled out by scrappers and scavengers. The banners themselves, whatever sigils were upon them, are now faded from time. You can see patches of mildew and warped timber overtaking the entire foyer, like rot. The wooden beams supporting this room some are snapped, some are, again, eaten away by mildew. You can see torn up rugs on the dirt-strewn stone floor beneath you, like beneath the balcony on the ground. You can see splatterings of dried blood, long-settled ash. There's a winding, rusted iron staircase that stretches from this U-shaped balcony down to the main floor of the foyer. You can see the light coming in, both from behind you, from this open door that you have, as well as the light that peers in a bit from the broken main entrance that you decided to avoid. The banisters of this balcony are warped, rusted, partially collapsed. Some of them splintered away in chunks, leaving dangerous gaps. There is still, however, a candelabra that hangs overhead, though its candles have long ran dry. Only melted wax that kind of clings to it like old scabs over old wounds. You can see that there's signs of squatting that has happened in this area. There's bedrolls, smashed clay flasks, burnt out remnants of a fire pit near the center of the room. But there's no recent footprints because there is not much dust you see in this area. And deeper in, beyond this foyer, stand a set of double doors, carved once from great dark oak. Now the metal bands that reinforce them are corroded. The surface is deeply scratched. by what you're unsure from this distance. And you can see that there is an old sigil of the Technic League etched into the double oak doors themselves, half defaced by graffiti in Goblin, Orcish, and Numerian script. But what is beyond those doors, you cannot see, for they are closed. The place groans with the sound of creaking old wood as it tries to bear your weight. This place is a corpse. For sure. What would you like to do? How do you proceed?
Well, I think I think Toy's gonna go investigate the closed door.
Okay. You make your way down the staircase and up to the double doors. Who else? What else is everyone doing?
I think we should keep relatively close. So Veris is gonna follow Toy.
Okay.
Was there nothing on this level of interest?
Not anymore. There's like a desk that's been upended. You can see that there were banners that have been ripped up. Whatever shelves have long broken, and whatever is on them lie in scattered pieces upon the ground.
I will follow as well, but I will be back somewhat from Toy and Veris, so maybe I'll still be on the stairs when they're looking at the door. I don't want to get too close, but close enough that I can do something.
Same.
Okay. Toy and whoever else is looking at the doors, make me an investigation roll, please.
Oh my god, this is my second 3, a 9.
That's cool. I got a 9 too.
You see that the doors are scratched with deep gouges. You're unsure of what that could mean or who those scratches belong to. Maybe just defacement from squatters and whatnot from long ago.
I think Toy looks at Veris and kind of shrugs her shoulders like, on 3.
Can Veris try the door? It is locked.
The door
Is
is
it?
well, the door is not locked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Veris nods to Toy and just kind of like, and then like opens it very, very carefully.
All right. Give me a memento. You're going to this one. You open the doors and is it not showing up for all of you?
I see it in Owlbear Rodeo, but for some reason it's not showing. Here, let me try something. Let me do an inner. Oh, there we go. As soon as I interacted with it, it changed.
You see before you more of the same. This ruined looks like more of a office reception area. You see a large elbow-shaped desk that dominates the center of dominates the center and the top side, the north side of this room. 2 great pillars hold up the tall ceiling of this place, and two open doorways lead out of this room. One to the north and one to the east. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else.
How's the lighting in here? Is it dark?
It is unlit. So the only light is from your own dark vision.
Does the one, like, the passageway that goes north, I can't tell, but is that ending in a wall or is that a door?
It ends in an elbow.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I would walk quietly around the pillar this way. And I want to kind of like eke into that, around that way.
Yeah, perfect. You see... What do you see? You smell the smells of smoke. You smell the smells of rotting meat. You see what appears to be a crude stove made out of a metal barrel resting atop blocks of stone here in the center of this room. It, however, is unlit. There's no fire burning below it. As well as you can see numerous ajar doors here, and elsewhere in this room. You get the sense that it's much larger than what you're currently able to see, and it continues on in a bit.
Do I hear anything coming from that corridor?
You can give me a perception roll.
That is a 24.
You hear the sound of buzzing flies.
If I can hear buzzing flies and I hear nothing else.
Yes.
Okay. I believe, I'm just going to check my traits here, I believe. I cannot actually see Veris at the moment because they're behind the pillar. I can see Yrsimagor though. So I think in Yrsimagor's head, you hear Daeralei say, no one down this corridor unless they are dead. I smell rotten meat and hear flies. Maybe the other way?
I nod. I'm actually going to move the other side. I'm going to try to, like, stealth my way over to the other side of the door. And see if I can see anything else other than what Daeralei saw.
You can see as you peer deeper into this place, you can see that each of these ajar doors lead to, well, at least you can see at least two of them, small, like, barrack-sized rooms with, like, mildewed and old decayed beds propped against the far walls. In one of them, this bottom one, you can see bits of bone strewn about.
I'll look at Daeralei and in a whisper, I will say to Daeralei, the dead sleep here. Maybe we should check this area out first.
You'll hear nothing because I had it muted. In your head, you'll hear Daeralei say, like, go, I'll watch your back.
I will nod, and I'm going to, I'll step through this doorway.
The smell gets stronger and stronger. Nasty, putrescent, rotting smell. With I imagine orcs have a bit of a sharper nose. You're able to identify that the smell is coming from this pot, whatever's inside it. Otherwise, you see, as you get closer, there's blood smears upon the tarnished, rotten wooden floor of this place. You see bits of dried viscera, that have glued themselves through, like, drying out upon the ground, caked onto the wooden planks. All of these rooms that you peer into, they are all empty. At least these ones that you can see, unused for many, many years. Dusty, mildewed, rotten, old and decayed.
So my intention is to kind of use a I guess, like, excuse me, a tactical maneuver to peer into the rooms, and I'm gonna just walk through what I would do as I'm looking to see if there's anybody or anything in these rooms. And I think getting here, seeing another hallway, I would stop and make sure, I don't know, do I have line of sight to Daeralei?
As soon as you go to where I don't have line of sight, I will be moving to where I have line of sight of you. Yeah. So.
I'll look at you then, Daeralei, and I'll hold up 2 fingers, and then I'll point past you and then motion. Basically, tell the others.
Okay, so you notice Daeralei will disappear for a moment so that you can get line of sight with Veris and Toy. And I think probably with Veris, you'd hear in your mind, follow. And then Daeralei would go back.
Yrsimagor, you see the hallway stretch further up from you. Have you stepped down this hallway, or are you still in this main room?
Once I see that Veris and Toya, are you coming too? So once I see them coming into the room behind, I'm going to actually do the same thing. I'm going to step into this hallway and start looking in the rooms.
Make me a perception roll, please, as you take a stride in. Oh, it seems I forgot a wall. That's okay.
Let's see. Perception. I'm going to use D&D Beyond for my perception. 18.
As you take a step, you notice right before you take a step into this place, where you were about to step just now is a tripwire. And seeing it now, you can either choose to step over it or not proceed at all. And what you can do is you can follow the line of this tripwire with this perception roll and see, kind of mounted up on the ceiling above you, in this dim light, using your orcish dark vision, you can see a figure pressed up against the ceiling. Though you realize upon further inspection, this is no living figure. A marionette made of rotten corpse parts is hinged up, latched up onto the ceiling. You see dangling from the places in which joints would be, where the tibia and fibia are merely joined together by like hook joints. Also dangle bits of scrap metal and things that are like shaped like coins and whatnot, and bells. So if this thing were to tumble, it would make a loud ruckus, and also at least startle whomever triggers the trap.
Looking up
Imagine.
this,
Yeah.
is there, given the stories we've heard of this place being haunted and the creatures of meat and metal, does this thing, though it doesn't appear to be living, does it appear to show any signs of being otherwise animated?
You can give me a perception or investigation roll to try to see if it is
So good
an
at
animated dead.
investigation. I'm going to look at perception here again. That's only an 11.
I don't know if you would be able to tell the difference. You just see a corpse strung together like a marionette with bits of rusted copper and whatnot. It being animated is certainly a possibility, though you cannot see it move, not even a bit. It does not react, however, to your presence.
What action would it take to attempt to disarm this tripwire?
You'd have to.
Meaning, like, what skill? Would that be like sleight
This
of
would be like
hand?
this would be like sleight. This would be sleight of hand. What you have to do is you have to trip the tripwire. Oh, sorry. You have to loosen the tripwire without having the whole rig come undone. So this would be sleight of hand.
So
do this dexterously.
I can actually use a tiny bit of real world experience here. In the case of a tripwire, you want to keep the tension on the triggering side, basically where it comes down and then goes across, so that you can safely cut it without it releasing the mechanism. I don't know that I even have tools. What's this tripwire made of?
It is made of thin copper wire, so it is quite sturdy, but not indestructible, but thin wire.
So I'm going to look back at the others, and I'm going to point out the tripwire to everybody and kind of point where the tripwire is, and then point up and motion something falling down, and then motion cutting it, disarming it in some way, and then I'm going to carefully step over it so that I can continue down the hallway. Now that I know that there's a trap, I'm going to be actively looking for additional tripwires or other mechanisms. Not that I'm necessarily the best trap finder, but yeah, so I'm gonna take another step over this tripwire.
You can do so, yes.
And then try to get up here so I can see in these rooms, and then I'll stop while I wait and see what the others are gonna do.
I think Veris is going to just quickly check in this room. I look expectantly to the DM to see if there's anything.
There is not but a nasty, mildewed bed in this room. You can even see that the walls themselves between these rooms have kind of rotted away just a bit. There's like gaps in the walls that let you see between them here in the connecting bits. There's nothing really of note in this room other than a rotten bed and bits of like bone and viscera upon the ground. What you'd probably find the most alarming is a fractured piece of ratfolk jawbone
Ugh.
that you see underneath underfoot.
Okay. Yeah, avoiding that. Veris is going to follow Yrsimagor, but he's going to be like taking little peeks into all of these rooms, and where Yrsimagor has identified the tripwire up here. Veris is wanting to look at it more closely to see how old it is.
Perfect. You can give me a investigation roll to try to deduce how old it is. And you can also give me a sleight of hand to try to disarm it.
Cool. I rolled a 25 on my investigation.
Mhm.
Sleight of hand.
And sleight of hand to disarm, yes.
Ooh, nice. Nat 20 for 21.
Perfect. So with your investigation, you can tell that this tripwire is incredibly recent. Within, well, it's hard to tell with, you're definitely not talking about on the spans of years, you're just talking on the spans of months or even weeks. And with your sleight of hand roll, you're able to disarm this trap, loosening and disabling the tripwire without springing the payload above. Yrsimagor, as you step forward and take a look down these rooms and corridor, I need you to roll me a perception, please.
I do want to say that at this moment, Daeralei has summoned her pack weapon to her hand.
Perfect. What shape does it take?
It's a rapier.
Perfect.
Yeah. And
Yrsimagor, you notice no other tripwires, nothing really else of note except for something that dominates the far wall of this corridor. You can see staked on the far wall, right here, is what appears to be the front half of a the front half of a, what do you call it? Formaldehyded corpse splayed open, so that their ribs and their sides are peeled out, making basically like a giant human starfish that's been nailed into the far wall. Its scalp and face have been all peeled out, and it's contorted to be a giant, massive smile.
I did not see an indicator when you motion on the map. I assume you mean that straight ahead.
Yes. Yeah, let me draw a little smiley face.
It's in the. Oh, I see. It's very, very. That's just a wall, dead end there.
Yeah, dead end wall with a grisly sight, perhaps intended to be a distraction from the tripwire, for the tripwire that you had noticed beforehand.
I think this kind of thing is probably not. Maybe this specific method is different, but seeing mutilated corpses is probably not foreign to Yrsimagor. So I don't think he's going to necessarily be like perturbed by that in the sense that it's going to stop him. I'm going to step forward, peering into these additional rooms. I'm going to step to right here.
This far room on the right hand side here, is another source of nasty smell and buzzing flies. In this room is a giant corpse heap, basically, of currently rotting, maggot infested, inchoate flesh that's kind of just like heaped in a pile, discarded and nasty.
Does
You see
there
flies buzzing out of skull holes and maggots cleaning fingernails and bones and rotting flesh from bits of meat.
does there appear to be anything of note in either of these rooms beside the pile of flesh?
Not that you can tell, no. Nothing catches your eye
Listen,
other than the nasty smell.
the Baldur's Gate player in me wants to be clicking all over this dead pile and trying to speak with dead and all that kind of stuff.
Like,
the D&D
right click rummage
Right.
rummage meat pile. Yeah.
The D&D orc in me wants to be looking for any traps, foes, or any exits, additional doorways, anything like that. So if I don't see anything obvious, I'm not actually going in the rooms to investigate.
Yeah, nothing catches your eye other than that.
Yeah, so I will head back. Is the tripwire disabled?
Yes, Veris successfully disabled the tripwire.
It is a grisly sight back there. There's 6 more empty rooms. I have to wonder why they would trap this corridor, though. I saw nothing. Well, in the last room to the right, there's a rather grisly pile of discarded flesh. And I'm going to step through and basically say, if you want to take a closer look, be my guest, but it is not a pretty sight back there. And yeah, I'll leave room if Veris or Toy or Daeralei want to further investigate. I am a little concerned that there's a visual and trap deterrent to go down this area, but maybe it's just an alarm system or sleeping quarters that were either not currently in use or were in use at one time. Or my big dumb eyes missed an obvious secret door or something.
Or maybe they're just trying to protect their hoard of food.
You think the pile of flesh is their food?
Well, if this thing is any indication, she points to the once used
The stinking
Stove.
stove?
yeah, I would say yes.
Have any of you taken the lid off of
Listen,
the
I was
Oh,
just
no
gonna say,
way.
I was just gonna say, given what we saw and with Daeralei drawing attention to it, I think Yrsimagor's curiosity gets the better of him, and he's gonna. I'm assuming there's like a little, like the
Little
stovetop lid
yeah,
thing,
mhm.
and I'll absolutely just kind of do one of those, kind of lifting it up and peering inside.
As Yrsimagor, as you do this, I need everyone in this room to make a fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude, you mean con?
Yes, sorry, I've been playing too much Pathfinder.
You were playing
Constitution.
Pathfinder yesterday.
A Constitution
Listen,
saving throw.
I didn't even blink at it. I was immediately looking for my fortitude.
I think Daeralei, knowing what Yrsimagor is about to do, and just mutters, "Oh dear unity, oh god, no!" And then re-roll and start to retch because, oh yeah, that's an 11.
I also got an 11. How are we all being twinsies?
Yeah, right. Well,
I got an 18.
of course you did. This is like your own home cooking, I bet.
Well, let's not go that far.
Okay. So Jake, Yrsimagor is the only one who passes. So Yrsimagor, you take 6 poison damage.
Oh.
Everyone else takes 12 poison damage, and you're
Good
now
lord.
poisoned for the next hour.
Jeez.
Yrsimagor, you are not having the poison condition. Oh, sorry, not hour. The next 10 minutes. as when you take this lid off of this thing, a noxious billow of unseen gas erupts out as you break the seal on what appears to be a pile of fermenting brains soaked in a weird slew of brine, and you can see in there chopped up bits of onion and potato, and there's some eyeballs and brains that have been fermenting in this weird, nasty stew. The presence of those root vegetables suggests that this is intended to be eaten.
I think you're right, Daeralei. And then I turn around and see everybody retching and convulsing.
Did you really need to open that? I think I would leave the room too, because I'm not staying in there. I'd be like, God.
Yeah, I'll hastily put the lid back on the stove and make sure Veris and Toy are okay if they're doubled over or hurling. Help escort them out of this space.
Oh, Toy is very much using the wall as a brace because she's just like, no.
Come on, Veris, get out of there.
Yeah, Veris is yeah, he's out. He's gone. I think he has like, I like to imagine that he almost has one of those like plague doctor masks, but it is very useful because he actually has like a rodent snout, so it's actually through there, but it still has the same like little dried herbs at the nose that he has taken.
Are these cupboards?
Those are cupboards.
He's also going to cast prestidigitation so that we don't have to smell this anymore. He's going to cast a more pleasant smell in the air to help us.
Great, now it smells like flowers and ass.
It's like the poopery, you know?
Yeah, I'll click search on these cabinets while I'm standing here. I'm gonna do so a little hesitantly, just kind of peering in case there's more like whatever horrific dinner pantry items.
I would like, as he's doing that, I would like to move over to like here so I can keep an eye on this corridor while leaning up against this
Desk. Yeah.
table desk thing as I'm recovering from this horrible stench unleashed upon us.
When you open this drawer, or these drawers, Yrsimagor, you'd find some things. You'd find that one of these drawers is just like an actual pantry for like bowls and spoons and whatnot for like dinner supplies, basically living supplies, though anything that's metal would be rusted, or anything else made of wood. You see like there's like a little like candle set as well. You'd see that like one of these drawers, just literally the only thing in it is like a skull, an orcish skull that just kind of sits ominously at the bottom of the drawer. As well, in another drawer, you'd find what appears to be old, like mildewed parchment documents and dossiers that would have a giant TL insignia on the front. And that's all of note that you find, other than actually, no, give me an investigation roll.
So this is an Elder Scrolls game. Skull, some wooden bowls, some
Yeah.
parchment. 15.
You find a small, you find a false bottom to one of these drawers, and inside the false bottom you see a small rolled up scroll. Like by small I mean like a hand width sized, kind of rolled up, as well as a little pouch that jingles with weight, as if it bears coins.
Seeing the scroll document, I will immediately hand it to Veris. And I'll peer inside the pouch of coins.
Yeah, Veris is gonna look at the scroll.
Perfect. In the meantime, Toy and Daeralei, what are you doing?
I think Toy, even though she's barfy, wants to investigate this hall.
Okay. I need you to give me a perception roll, please.
Cool.
Daeralei is just watching.
Jesus.
Toy
A
investigate.
15.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
You get a 15.
Mm-hmm.
That is not enough. As you step upon another of those trip wires,
Cool.
and dangling, falling from the ceiling, again, like the one that we had before, this corpse marionette dangles and drops and chimes and clanging bits of scrap metal, clang, 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 around, and emblazoned, like carved into the gray molded flesh torso of this corpse is an arcane insignia.
Of course.
And when it does so, I need to quickly look up something.
This
while you're
marionette
looking
have a
that up,
glyph of warding on it.
It is a glyph of warding, yes.
I would love to make a reaction
You
and
brilliant.
jump across the desk so I'm on the other side of it.
You brilliant genius.
You just
Okay.
hear Toy go,
Because-
son of a bitch. She is the shittiest rogue I've ever had due to all of my dice rolls.
The glyph then begins to hum with energy almost instantly. Like there's a few, like you can almost see like the sound of a spark happen, and immediately the glyph erupts into ghostly green flames, and will erupt in a 20-foot radius sphere around the corpse. So that will catch you, Daeralei. But it'll only be Toy and Daeralei here. You will have to both make dexterity saving throws.
24.
17.
Okay, you both succeed, so you can take half damage. You're going to take 10 fire damage as it blasts with green ghost flames that make a loud cacophonous noise before the smoldering remains of this half-cindered corpse marionette that dangles from the ceiling it smolders afterwards.
I forgot. We're poisoned, right? So that's we're rolling this as a disadvantage, right? Because these are ability checks or saving throws.
No, these are saving throws, so you do not have
Then we're
disadvantage.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd still like to dive across and over onto the other side of the desk.
Absolutely. You can say that's part of your success of the saving throw. You only take the half damage from doing so. So Veris, this is what interrupts as you see the first word as you unravel this scroll. The first word is marrow, and then you feel a blast of hot air coming from around the corner where Toy has triggered a trap. And Daeralei and Toy are blasted back by ghostly green flames.
Yeah, Veris is gonna like quickly run over and are you both okay?
Do we look like we're okay?
Yes, you're talking, you're alive. So I suppose it's all relative. He is going
your
to
definition of okay is different than mine.
Can you cast Cure Wounds on them both?
Sure can.
Do that at
I look at Toy.
Daeralei heals 15 and Toy heals 16.
I look at Toy and just say, watch you step.
You just hear her like gulping really loud, and she's like, "Sorry, I'm kind of barfy at the moment. I tripped."
I'll look at where this marionette corpse thing crashed and detonated, and I'll look down the rest of the corridor to see if I see any other tripwires, or kind of looking up at the ceiling as well, looking for any of these things that might be stashed.
Give me a perception roll. Veris, do you continue reading the little note in your hand?
Yeah, he's going to continue after making
Perfect.
sure that they're both okay.
Veris, you'd read actually. The lines crawled out in a whoever wrote this has a strong, powerful hand. Though still has quite precise lettering. So these words you can tell are written pragmatically and purposefully. Marrow, your rust risen. They're stronger than I expected, but twice as dumb. One walked straight into my chainsaw during drills. Again. I need them smarter. Not clever, just not meat puppets. If they can't flank, cover, or follow a command without glitching out and gurgling up rust, they're no good in the field. Also, why do they smell so much worse when they're fresh? Fix it, or I'll send you one of my boys to test your little stitchworks in person. Kulgara.
I think Veris would be reading that aloud so that the others could hear.
Yrsimagor. Oh, go ahead.
No.
Marrow was one of the Lords of Rust, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the least known one, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a note that says possibly undead necromancer secluded, tasked with building an undead army.
Yrsimagor, perhaps it's the name Kulgara that's read out to you by Veris that kind of distracts you from noticing anything. You do not notice any more tripwires, nor any of these more corpse marionettes draped up in the ceiling. There's nothing of note that you see.
If Kulgara is tasking Marrow with building these things and more, we're in for a treat.
It seems as though they want to make them smarter. I really do hope that she wasn't successful.
Me too. Are we ready? And I'm going
No,
to...
I think I need 5 more minutes.
I'm going to say, I'm trying to move on the OBS. I'm going to say, are we ready? And I'm going to step through so I can get a look down that way. I'll go to here. If I make it that far, given that I...
You absolutely do make it that far. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase everyone's line of sight just a little bit, because it seems a bit small. Oh, that's 8,000. I don't want to give you 8,000.
I can see forever!
Okay, cool. Yrsimagor, as you stride forward and peek around this corridor, you would see that this larger room. It stretches both to the left and to the right. And you can see that there are these massive tanks that bubble with opaque glass. And behind it you can see some kind of fluid and some kind of ominous shape enshadowed beyond the glass. Nothing that you can see, though the smell is putrid. The smell is of formaldehyde that wafts out of this room. Formaldehyde, blood, and rust.
If I don't see any movement immediately, I'm gonna move up to here, and before getting any closer to the doorway, I'm going to check for traps again.
Roll me another perception.
Can I give him advantage by helping him?
Absolutely.
All right. Excellent. That's an 18. The other die was a 5.
You see no tripwires, no further springboards. This expanse ahead of you is not trapped, as far as you can tell.
There doesn't appear to be a trap, but we should tread carefully.
Just nods her head.
Where are the other two?
You can see me. I have line of sight of you. I'm still behind that desk.
I'm rounding the corner.
Oh, man.
I can't believe I'm doing that. The same thing I do in video games. I just went like this.
Peering.
I'm trying to peer around. I do that in games all the time. I
told myself not to do
Same.
that, and I do that every time.
Yeah, me too.
I absolutely was trying to physically peer around. Yeah, I'm gonna step into the room to allow for that cinematic 360 shot around Yrsimagor as we see all of these, way more of these vats than I expected.
Almost 24 of these large glass tanks sit against the walls of this oval-shaped chamber. The tanks themselves are semi-opaque with condensation, grit, filth, and several of them seem to contain some sort of figure within. Each tank has a metal-rimmed door on its front that you imagine could allow its contents to be accessed. The room continues around, and you can see that there is a passageway that continues here.
Before we leave this place, I think we should at least, bare minimum, destroy all of these contraptions. So they can't be used again.
Yrsimagor, stop moving. Put yourself where you were. Yeah, perfect. As you stride, I'll put you back a little bit. Yrsimagor, as you stride forward, all of a sudden, you can hear a cackle. Fresh meat, my creatures! You can hear the sound coming from far over here somewhere. As all of a sudden you hear a click happen, and kshoo, kshoo, kshoo. All of the metal doors on these canisters begin to open up, flooding the room in formaldehyde as creatures step out, cables attaching themselves to the insides of the canisters. These inchoate, disgusting amalgamations of rust and meat. Their arms are weapons. their bodies are machines, their faces a grisly contortion of bone and metal and surgically and grafted together. And they all advance upon you with intentions of violence. Go ahead and take a break, as we will get back into this mess right after the break.
Okay. We'll see you on the other side. And we're back.
All right. As the rust risen clamber out, as the area floods with formaldehyde, you can hear the sound of the door here getting closed in front of you. Daeralei, you are the first to act. What would you like to do?
I would like to run away. No. There's so many of them.
For some reason, Daeralei's yelling pork chop, pork chop.
Pork chop, pork chop, pork chop. Don't know why, but I am. Veris is too close. I would like I think I would like to within 10 feet of me. So I'd like to maybe take a step. Sorry, right here. How far away is that guy? 12 feet, 12 feet, 15, 6. Okay, I would like to take a step, kind of like, I guess, there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that Veris is not within 10 feet of me. Oh, but I want the other ones, but I want these ones all to be, so I guess, oops. Maybe I can't get that guy and that guy at the same time. No. So I can get these 3 though, if I do it right. Yeah. So I want a step where I will get those 3, and I'm going to do Arms of Hadar on myself. As all of a sudden this dark, maybe dark matter exudes from Daeralei as batters all the creatures within 10 feet of me. Each creature in that area must make a strength saving throw, DC 15. On a failed save, what's my tap? They'll take necrotic damage, but yeah. So DC 15. Save throw, please.
And that is what kind of radius? Sorry, is it
10
all?
foot.
So it
10
would be. Is it the 4th one? Let me see.
I don't think I can't get the 4th one, and like
Okay.
number 5 and number 3 are too far apart for me to get them and get to. So basically 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. Let me roll some. Let me roll some thingamajiggies.
That's pathetic
1,
damage.
2, 3. Fortitude saves. Sorry, con saves.
Strength saves.
Strength saves. Sorry. Okay. I have a 9, a 19, and a 12.
So the 19 saves, but the other 2 do not.
Okay.
Those who don't save take 12 necrotic. The ones that do save will take half. I rolled poorly on the damage.
Okay, so you notice that these things are resistant to necrotic.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. That is one action. that be my action.
Do they have
Don't-
any other adverse effects from the spell? Or is it just the necrotic damage?
And the ones that failed can't take reactions on their until their
Okay.
next turn.
No reactions.
Yeah. The
Cool.
one that saves is fine.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't believe I have any bonus actions that I want to do at this time. No. So that is that. That is my turn. Unfortunately.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, that will bring us to Rust Risen number 7, which is up top. It will move. I'm going to take a movement. As it clambers out, it is able to get to you, Yrsimagor, as it strides out, sloshing through the formaldehyde upon the ground, and it will strike out at you with 2 jab attacks against you. That's going to be a 23 to hit and a 13 to hit.
23 hits.
Okay, so you will take 11 points of slashing damage as you get stabbed by a serrated arm blade. And then it is Rust Risen number 4's turn. It will stride up to you, Daeralei, and also strike at you, making 2 attacks against you. A critical hit of 24 and a 17.
Yeah, both hits.
Okay, so the critical hit. So okay, the normal hit will do 8 slashing, and then the critical hit will do 17
Wait,
slashing.
just a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, back up. I have a thingy called Entropic Ward.
Ooh.
So when a creature makes an attack roll, I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage. I'd like to do it on the guy who critted me.
That's fair. All right, I will re-roll the crit. Getting instead a non-crit of just 21.
Okay, that's
Cool.
worth it.
So that'll be 7. That'll be 7 slashing.
So I'm sorry. What was the first one? 7 and 7, or
Yeah, 7 and 7, I believe.
It was,
14?
it was 8 on the first one.
Oh, 8.
Oh,
Okay,
8?
8 and 7. Okay.
I know, same team, but
15 damage. Okay.
also just a reminder, we have 14 relics.
Oh yeah.
And that will bring us now to Toy, your turn, as you are surrounded by these robotular undead creatures.
Ew. I have a quick question. Is my pointer on? It is not. Is this one close enough that if I move, it'll get an opportunity attack?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure before I do anything. So I am going to bonus action disengage, so I don't provoke that opportunity attack.
Okay.
And I am going to move up here, so I can get that flanky damage. And I am going to hit it with a dagger. And since I have a buddy within 5 feet, I can still get sneakies.
You certainly can.
It's a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Cool. So let's roll that damage beam. 17.
Oh, it takes 17 damage. As you strike a surprisingly powerful blow, crippling its defenses with your strike.
And that was my action, my movement, and my bonus action, so that's it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Toy, you can make a con saving throw versus the poison condition.
I'm pretty sure I'm still poisoned if I got a 10.
Yeah, you are still poisoned. Yrsimagor, it is your turn, as you are beginning to be surrounded by the rust risen.
First question: are these things
Yes.
robot enough to trigger my robot slayer feat, or are they?
Absolutely.
Okay.
These are both undead and constructs, and have the robot subtype. So they will
Perfect.
absolutely
That'll
count
give me-
for your robot slayer.
That'll give me a bonus 3 damage on each hit. Yeah, I think as this fight is erupting, and these ones close in, and the one that attacks, you just see Yrsimagor, and the face takes on that slightly ursine looks, and the hands turn into bear claws. And I am going to recklessly attack. First action, I'm going to recklessly attack number 1 with my. It's been a minute since I've done this, so I just want to double check that I'm doing it right. I believe. Why am I struggling to remember how I did this? How was I doing it where I was getting 3 attacks?
So you get 2 from extra attack, and you get a bonus action attack, I believe, from your bear feature.
Okay, yeah, it says once on
believe-
each of your turns when you attack with a claw action. Okay, yeah. So I think I forgot that because we leveled up, and I forgot that the extra attack was already there, so that's where it was coming from. Okay. I'm going to, right now, direct all 3 attacks at number 1 there. So that's going to be
Let's look
reckless.
this guy down here.
Looking, yeah, that guy.
Okay.
So roll with advantage on first attack is a dirty 20.
Yep.
Second attack, recklessly, is a natural 20.
That's a critical hit.
A critical hit on number 2, and following with a rage-filled third hit with advantage. Which, if by some... That is another crit.
Wow.
I got a 20 and a 15, and I had a 20 and a... I don't know what on the last one. So 2 crits and a hit. So if by some chance I down this one before I get to that third attack, I would redirect it to number 7.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to do the regular one first. That is 11. Hold on. That didn't go up at all. So that's 11 plus rage is 12, 13 plus the Robot Slayer makes it 16 on the standard
Holy
hit.
shit.
Let me make sure. Yeah, it's 2d. Wait. Hold on.
There should be 1d6.
Oh no. Hold
Okay.
on. I see what it did. Because it's trying to apply crit damage. Let me try this.
We can say that's one of the crits though.
Well, that doesn't account for the, because we do max then.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So if you're okay, I'll just re-roll.
Yeah, just completely.
So
roll. Yeah.
the first one, the regular one, is a 14 instead of a 16. Rolled a 5. Plus 4 plus another 5 for Rage and Robot Slayer. Okay, so each of these is going to be 6, 10, 14, 19, and then a d6 on top of it. So I'll just roll this aside. So the first crit is a 19 plus 4. So
That is exactly enough
23.
you needed to down this one.
So
As
I
you render-
hit this thing, and then I literally just rip it apart. spin around and direct that last crit at the number 7 guy, which will be a 19 plus another 4, so 23 on the one that I believe Toy already attacked.
Yep, and that one also gets vanquished. You get ripped apart, asunder.
And while not directed at you, Toy, you just see as I rip that one down, just that half orc, half bear face just.
Oh, Toy is like trying to pump you up too. She's like, "Yeah, buddy, let's do this."
I'm actually going to, because I didn't move at all, and those two are now dead. I'm going to position myself. Where's Veris? Okay, Veris is back there. I'm going to move here, positioning myself right between these two. Are they both within 5 feet of me?
I will do a quick math here.
Don't have the...
Yes and yes.
Okay, I just want to be ready for the next. I figure they'll probably come after me anyway, but that's the intent. I'm trying to draw their attack. I attack
Perfect.
recklessly, so attacks will be advantaged against me.
All right. Now it is a great slew of foes' turn. Number 1 is dead, so it misses its turn. Number 2 advances upon you, Daeralei, and will strike at you with 2 jagged arm attacks. It's 2 d20s, and not a d10. Oh my lord. 2 d20s. Okay. That's going to be a critical hit for a 24 and a 9.
Well, the 9 at least misses.
So the critical hit will deal 3 plus 12, 15 slashing to you. That was number 2. Number 3 has its action, which is down there. It will also move up to you and attack you, as you, Daeralei, are now beginning to get surrounded. It's going to be a 15 and a 15 to hit.
Yes and yes.
Okay, that's going to be 11 slashing and then 12 slashing. Wow. As I roll near max damage on these 2 attacks. And then number 5 gets to act, which is on Yrsimagor. It'll move up to you and attack with advantage against you.
Did you say you're down, Daeralei?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would have been had you not come closer and had Mr. 5 go up to you instead of me. So thank you.
Yrsimagor, that is a 16 to hit.
That's a miss.
And a 13 to hit. So that's 2 misses. And then number 8 gets to have its action, which is way up here. It's going to shamble out at you, Toy, and strike at you. That's going to be a crit and a 21 to hit. So the crit is going to deal 17 slashing, and the normal hit is going to max damage 12 slashing for 29 slashing total.
I just want to point out that 5 crits have been rolled, and we're not even through the first round.
And lastly, number 6 axe, which is this guy, will move up to Yrsimagor. Let's see if we get another crit in the action here. Attack with advantage. That is another critical hit.
I do not believe this.
And then the second attack
Rigged.
will be another critical hit.
Rigged.
This is outrageous.
That's going to be max damage, 22 slashing.
Up to 11.
And then another 22 slashing. For 44 slashing total on these 2 critical hits that jab into your side.
So,
Thankfully, they get hit by your resistance, so they'll be halved down.
Oh, that's 22 points of damage.
22 damage that is dealt. Finally, Veris, as you see carnage sweeping before you, critical hit. All of your allies here, all your companions taking gruesome blows after gruesome blows, ripped apart by these reanimated, rust-built contraptions of horror and death. What do you do, Veris? as you stand in the corridor witnessing all this?
All right, Veris is going to jump into action. He is going to run down to Daeralei, and he's going to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level. Which is going to be 19 points of healing. And is it it's not a bonus action to force someone to drink a healing
No,
potion,
it's
is it?
action to give, bonus action to take yourself.
Did you say 19?
Yeah,
Points?
19.
Oh,
Can I
sweet.
give her the healing potion?
Yeah, you can
Sorry.
hand it to her, yes.
Yeah, hand it to her. Because I have a greater healing potion that I'm going to give to her. Is that a bonus action or is that an interaction?
That's an interaction. That doesn't even cost an action.
Okay, so then I'm going to
Daeralei,
run.
you have now, you have a greater healing potion in your hand that you can take on your turn as a bonus action.
I'm going to run to Yrsimagor with my last remaining movement, and I have one more potion of greater healing that I'm going to give to Yrsimagor. And
Unless you put it in his pocket or like shove it in a part of his whatever. I've got big bear hands, and I don't think he's in a rage. I don't think he's thinking clearly enough to take a bottle from you.
no, yeah, he's shoving it in a pocket, or like,
Okay.
yeah, if you'll allow that by.
Shove it in down your pants, yeah.
You
Yeah,
said that was
somewhere.
a greater healing potion?
Yeah. And as a bonus action is going to give Yrsimagor Bardic Inspiration. Don't give up now, friend. And that's his turn.
D8?
D8, yeah.
That will bring us to the top. Daeralei, you are surrounded. What would you want to do?
Unfortunately, I'm going to use my bonus action this turn to do something other than quaff this potion, but we are thankful for that. My bonus action, oh no, if I do that, it's I was not thinking it through. I only have 2 spells.
Survive or go down on a blaze of glory.
Okay. So we'll do it anyway. So bonus action, I am Misty Stepping. I'm Misty Stepping. 30 feet away. Boom. To somewhere.
You disappear in inky darkness to reappear back in the corner.
Yeah, and then for my action, well, because I'm going to be out for this round. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. It's an ability I get to do it once a day, I believe.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm casting Fairy Fire. Dex 15. I'm going to try and catch as many of these. You can't see that. Where's my pointer thingy?
What kind of radius is it?
20-foot cube.
20-foot cube. Oh, okay. Hold
Yeah.
on. That's not a circle. That's a square. 20 foot by 20 foot is like that. So you can grab the hand tool and you can move this around.
Okay, hand tool, move it around. I want to do that. So I catch those guys. So
Okay.
anybody who so hopefully
You have to make dex saves, right?
Yeah, dex saves 15, please.
It's gonna be a 7, a 5, an 8, and a 5. That's 4 failures.
Okay, so not only do they're outlined in light, they shed light in a 10-foot radius, and any attack roll against them will have advantage.
Okay.
And they can't be invisible. And then as my movement action, I'm moving 30 more.
All right, that is your turn. That brings us to Rust Resident number 4. which, illuminated in fairy fire, steps forward with Veris now as its target to murder and dice up here with 2 serrated arm blade attacks against you.
I rolled a 21 on my con save at the end.
Perfect. You are now no longer poisoned. Veris, that is a 14 and a 13 against you.
Both of those hit.
Both of them hit.
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be 9 plus 12 for 21 slashing.
Yucky.
And then that brings us to Toy. Your turn.
Okay. Let's see here. I need to look at something really fast. Because I was looking at it, and then I didn't. Okay. So I am going to I'm going to stab this rust risen number 8.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta remember disadvantage. Where'd my mouse go? Is it? It's a 15.
15 is not good enough, as it clanks off of the copper and bronze and rusted iron armor that is grafted onto this undead monster.
Oh, cool. Then we're gonna do our bonus action disengage.
Mhm.
And oh no, I gotta hit the hand. And we are going to run away to like here.
All right, perfect. That will bring us to Yrsimagor. It is your turn.
Not fully registering the potion that's been given to him, Yrsimagor is going to use his bonus action to do something you've never seen him do before. As using these bare fists, he just takes a moment in his rage and just strikes his chest. And I'm going to use Second Wind as a bonus action to regain 8 HP. And then I'm going to focus my attention on the... Which one is that? Number 6 that wasn't caught in the fairy fire. Actually, you know what? Now, Toy's got like 3 others. Nope, that one's dead. That one's dead. So, Toy's got that one. I gotta turn my attention to 5 and 4 because I gotta protect Veris. So I'm going to attack number 5. I guess I don't need to attack recklessly if I get advantage from the fairy fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do first attack on number 5. Honestly, can I reach number 4? Or am I too far away?
You can definitely reach number 4.
Okay. Then I will take number 4 because that one's closest to Veris. So that's double 16s, 23.
That is a hit.
So that's going to be 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 5, 15 slashing. Second attack is another 23.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be another 15.
All right.
And then that extra third attack is Another 16 for a 23 for 13 this time.
Jake, I need you to roll me a d6 with no modifiers and tell me the result of the roll.
That d6 is 3.
A 3?
Yes.
All right. You. All right. So let me just put it to 0. All right. Thank you. That was all 3 of your attacks.
All 3 of them geared at number 4. Yes.
Yep. Perfect. Anything else you do?
That was action, bonus action, and I'm going to stay put.
Okay. Perfect. Now it is the Rust Risen's turns. Number 2 will amble towards Veris, since you're the closest person, and strike at you twice. It's going to be a 6 and a 20. 20 hits and deals 11 slashing to you.
Yeah, Veris is down.
Veris is down.
Yeah.
Perfect. I am glad to hear that. Number 3 will move. Let's see. It can't even get anywhere. It's too crowded here. So it's going to try and. It can move. Okay, so it's able to go up and around to surround you, Yrsimagor. And it's going to make 2 attacks against you. Not with advantage because you did not recklessly attack. Alright, so one of them is a crit, and the other one's a 12.
These crits, man.
The crit will deal 9 plus 12, 21 slashing, divided by 2 down to 10 slashing to you. 2 and 3. Number 5, okay, is also that one, also attacking you, Yrsimagor. That's going to be 2 attacks against you, both normal. A critical miss and a 12, which is a miss. And then, okay, now we're up to 8 and 6. Where is 8? 8's way up there, and 6 is, yeah, right there, okay. 8 will come down to you, Toy, and attack you. 2 attacks. It's going to be an 8 and a 20.
The 20 will hit.
And it's going to be 6 slashing. And you know what? Wrist resin number 6 is also going to dogpile on you, Yrsimagor. It just wants to rip you apart. It's going to be 2 attacks against you. A 14 and a 14.
Both misses.
Perfect. That brings us to Veris. I need you to make a death saving throw, please. A raw d20 with no modifier. Tell me what you get.
14.
That is 1 success as you cling to life. Daeralei, it is your turn. What do you do?
Off the potion for a bonus action. What does a greater do?
Greater is 4d4 plus 4, I believe.
1, 2,
Let me look it up just to make sure.
4.
Greater healing. 5d. 4d4 plus 4. Yeah.
Oh, and I rolled all ones there. Almost all of them. So I got 7 plus 4 is 11. Wow. Wow. That was terrible. 11. Heal. Okay. So that was bonus action. Move will be to come back. And now I'm going to Eldritch Blast Rust Risen number 2.
Okay.
Now that I'm no longer poisoned, I feel better. Oh, but I shoot bad. That's 11 on the first one. And the second one... Oh, that's better. 22.
22 hits.
Okay. For... Sorry. Oh, I rolled a 1. Goddamn. 5 points of damage. Ah, terrible rolls. You should stop rolling so well and give us some of those nice rolls so that we roll better.
It is my night, apparently.
Apparently.
Apparently. So it was your action, your move, and your bonus. So, Toy, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to try to hit Rust Risen 6.
Okay.
Yes. And because I have a friend there,
This is sneak attack.
I get sneak attack. Would this be flanking as well?
This is no, not.
Okay.
There is no
I just want-
flanking.
Just want to make sure. Be good to me, dice. 27 to hit.
That hits.
Yay! Give me all the sneakies for 18 damage.
Awesome. That was your action. Anything else you'd like to do?
Do I have a healing potion? No. Yeah, no, that. I could try to hit again. I just obviously wouldn't add my modifier to it. With the 2
Yeah, nor your
weapons.
sneak attack. You only get sneak
Nor
attack
my
once a turn.
sneak attack, yeah. So that's what I'll do. I'll try to hit him again for 21.
21 hits.
Give me that D4, baby. So 4 damage. 4 more damage to him.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right, Yrsimagor. Veris has fallen before you. You're surrounded with the rust risen. All of your companions are bleeding from numerous wounds, including yourself. What do you do in your bestial rage?
I am going to bonus action use my last second wind. So technically a third wind. It's banging
Your
my,
second win.
Yeah. Banging my fists against my chest. Roaring. I will gain 7 more hit points. And then I am going to focus on number 3 and just start wailing recklessly attacking. So that'll be first attack. Come on.
You don't need to recklessly attack number 3 because he's got fairy fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see that now. Thank you. So no reckless attack, just roll with advantage. That's a 17 to hit.
That will be a miss as you
Really?
clang off of the
I
armor.
would like to roll the bardic inspiration die.
Cool.
Bolster that attack. From a 17 to a 22.
That hits.
Glancing at the fallen Veris and remembering his inspiring words, I focus my bear claw and I will do I will do that 13 points of slashing. Okay. Second attack is 24.
Another hit.
That would be another 13 points of damage. Final attack. Critical hit. That's my third crit to your 6 crits. So that's going to be a 19.
19 plus a D6.
D6.
Wow.
So that will be 23 points of slashing.
As you rip this one in half.
And I don't know Let me tell you what I would like to do, and you tell me if you will allow it.
Okay.
I would like to crouch
Mm-hmm.
and lean over Veris, protecting
Ooh,
his
okay.
body. I will take that as if you need it to be. I will take that as a prone condition.
Okay.
Because basically, I want to still be able to jump up and attack, but I want to protect Veris from being hit. I want to take any hits that would be directed at Veris.
Okay. I think that is completely allowed. What you'll have to do is you'll have to move over Veris' spot, which will opportunity attack from this one guy.
From 5?
From number 6, yeah.
I suddenly can't move my guy.
No?
Hold on, it's a glitch on my end.
Okay.
I have this weird thing with Google Chrome where it just suddenly locks up for whatever reason. Yeah.
Okay. So number 6 will take an opportunity attack against you,
Yep.
but you are able to shield Veris' body. It's gonna be a single attack. You did not attack recklessly, so this is a normal roll.
Yep.
That thing was so close to being a 20, I almost shat my pants. It's gonna be an 18 against you
That will be a hit.
for 5 slashing, getting halved down to 2.
Okay.
And that is the end of Yrsimagor's turn, so it is
Crap.
all 4 Rust Risen's turns.
Crouching over Veris, Yrsimagor looks even more like a bear.
So I will say, yes, they have an advantage against you because of the prone condition, or the protective condition that you're imposing upon yourself. But they are forced to attack you instead of Veris. So the 2 of them are going to attack you for sure. It's going to be another critical hit
These dice.
and a 12 for the first go around. So that's going to be 1 hit. This plus 12. 18 slashing, halved down to 9 slashing. Rust Risen number 5 will then attack you with 2 attacks, each one with advantage. Maybe a 7 to hit. And then another critical hit for maximum damage, 22 slashing, halved down to 11. And then Rust Risen 6 and 8 will then turn to you, Toy, and attack you, trying to rip you apart. They each get 2 attacks against you. So Rust Risen 6 attacks you with a 10 and an 18.
The 18 will hit.
That you will take 12 slashing.
Ooh, I'm about to die.
And then Rust Risen number 8 will attack you with a 11 and a 22.
That 22 will
22
hit.
hits.
I imagine she's gonna be
It's
down.
4 slashing.
Holy shit, she's not.
That brings us
I have 1 hit point, guys.
to you, Veris. As the Rust Risen were trying to snap to try to rip you apart, but Yrsimagor keeps you alive for another moment. Veris, please roll me a death saving throw.
6.
That is a failure. You're now 1 inch towards death. Daeralei, you're seeing utter carnage being displayed ahead of you. These Rust Risen are eviscerating your allies just as fast as they're eviscerating them. What do you do, Daeralei, as you witness this? What do you do on your turn?
I am going to Eldritch Blast number 2 in front of me.
Okay.
Roll with advantage.
I'm going to roll with advantage this time. Okay, that's good. So that's a 23. I'm going to roll for damage. I'm also going to do that thingy, get myself a headache to do additional damage. Oh my god, I rolled a 1 on the die again. So stop with this. I need your dice. So that will be 5 plus 3, so 8 points for that first blast. That will take 3 damage. Okay, and then my second.
Your second attack also gets the bolster.
Okay, that is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
For... Oh, finally, max damage. So that's 14 plus 3, 17.
17 damage. It just barely stands as it is assaulted by your inky dark eldritch blasts that you buffet it with.
Damn. I am... So is it a bonus action to like I've got that hypodermic needle or whatever the heck
That
it
is a bonus action to do, yes.
to do? Okay, I will move, put myself in danger. Yeah, I can move there. I'm going to move to here where Yrsimagor is cowering over Veris, and I'm going to slam a hypodermic needle into Veris. I'm going to use I have one black one. I believe the black one is the greater.
I also believe that's true. Sounds right to me.
Yeah, I've got one of those left because
So that will be, you get to heal Veris 4d4 plus 4 hit points.
I don't want to roll because my dice have been terrible. Veris, you can roll for yours.
That's 12.
Yeah.
Veris, you will regain 12 hit points from Daeralei, giving you otherworldly technological aid, non-magical aid. As the serum within that injector courses through your body, we zoom in, the camera lens zooms in, we see tiny little atomic machines going through your bloodstream, patching up the platelets against your skin, these nanites healing you from the inside. And you are now conscious and healed and better for it. So that was all three of your actions.
Yeah,
Toy,
I'm done.
it is your turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna disengage as a bonus action,
Okay.
and we're gonna come over here. I should have enough movement. Yeah. So she's gonna come over there. Actually, move her a little more. I'm gonna try to take out that one.
All right.
And
You get advantage because of the fairy fire.
advantage because of their fire. Be nice to me, dice. 22.
That hits.
And sneak attack is going to be added onto this for 20 damage.
All right, roll a d6 for me, please.
Cool. D6. A 2.
Okay, thank you.
And that's my turn.
All right. Yrsimagor, you are crouched over a now regaining conscious Veris as he coughs back to being awoken again. What do you want to do with your turn?
During that whole time, I imagine just being crouched over as these other these Rust Risen are just pummeling Yrsimagor, tearing his flesh, and Daeralei comes running in. Yrsimagor probably reflexively growls at her, but doesn't stop her. She administers healing. And then looking down and seeing Veris regaining consciousness and opening his eyes, I will push off, use half my movement to stand up, and I will immediately spin around and start laying into Rust Risen number 5.
Perfect.
And I am going to... I do not need to attack recklessly because of the fairy fire. The first attack... Oh my gosh. I'm going to spend a relic.
Okay.
And reroll. Because that was... Yes. Oh. That's a 16.
Not good enough as you strike upon its armor instead of upon its weak spots.
The second hit... Oh my gosh. The second hit's an 11. Second attack is an 11. Spinning around and even though I'm not attacking recklessly, for flavor, he's attacking recklessly after almost losing Veris. Let's hope this third one connects. Where did... That was almost a crit. 24 to hit, though.
That is a hit.
So that will be 10, 15 slashing damage.
Okay.
I don't have anything else I can do. Oh. No, I don't have anything I can do.
All right. It now goes to the Rust Risen's turn. Number 5, again, continues to saw at you, stab at you with an arm blade, making 2 attacks against you. None of them at advantage because of anything. It's going to be a 6 and a 20.
The hit.
It's 9 slashing, halved down to 4 because of your rage. Rust Risen number 6 advances upon you and attacks you with 2 attacks. Getting a 20 and a 10.
Another hit.
1 hit. Dealing 8 slashing, halved down to 4. And Rust Risen number 8 also comes down and advances upon you, attacking you twice. 18 and a 9. And 18 hits. For 6 slashing, halved down to 3. These things do not do nearly as much damage when they don't crit. That will bring us to Veris. You are prone upon the ground, underneath the great form of Yrsimagor, who is surrounded by the Rust Risen. He's trying his best to claw and rake at them. Daeralei saved you from the brink of death, and you see all of your companions scraped and bloodied beyond repair. What do you do, Veris, as you come to on your turn?
Can I make a circle? Select. No.
How big of a circle do you want?
I want to see 10-foot radius.
Okay, you can move it about with the hand tool.
I can't get not
Cannot?
Yrsimagor.
Yeah, you can only get 2, or
All right.
all 3 and Yrsimagor, yeah.
Well, and Yrsimagor and me, which would kill
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get these 2.
I say, if it was just me, go for it.
No, it's also that's also me there. So I'm gonna cast Shatter.
Okay. These things are made of inorganic materials, which I believe is a rider on that spell.
Has disadvantage. Yeah.
Disadvantage. Perfect.
Yes.
So as a con save for the both of them?
Yes.
So number 6 will get, well, it'll turn a natural 20 into a 22. That's a success. And number 8 will get a 7, will fail. So 6 succeeds, 8 fails.
Okay, so the one who fails takes 17, and then the other one takes half.
Okay, so full damage is 17. Thunder damage. Half of 17 is 8. Perfect.
And we'll give Yrsimagor another bardic inspiration. And that is his turn. He also stands up, but he's still going to be under Yrsimagor.
Do my big orcish legs give Veris a cover?
I would say yes. Veris would have cover in this situation.
Hooray! Hiding. It's like a child, like hiding behind. Like.
So that brings us. That was Veris. Daeralei, it is your turn.
Is Rust Risen 8? Like, if I move, is that one going to get attack of opportunity on me, or is I far enough away that I can move?
It will hit you with an attack of opportunity. You are in melee with it.
Fine, I will stay. No, I need to. Well, poop. Can I still Eldritch Blast Rust Risen number 5 from where I'm at? Even though
Yes, you can. Yep. Allies do not give block line of sight.
Then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Eldritch Blast number 5.
Okay.
With advantage, and roll. Okay, good. That is a 25 to hit.
That'll be a hit.
I will give myself a headache. Oh, goddamn. The stupid ones. So that's a 5 plus 3 is 8 points on that one. And then second blast. A 23 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, well, it's like last time, almost max on the second one. That is 13 plus 3, 16.
Right, roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh, no. 6. That's a 5.
Okay, thank you. It falls, blasted by your magic.
And I guess because I really am already still in melee, I am going to move closer to Rust Risen. I'm trying to give as much, I guess, distraction so that it protects Veris even more.
Okay.
So I'd like to move. I'll just keep moving around like there.
Okay. That'll bring us now to Toy. It is your turn.
These. Well, Daeralei had my train of thought. So Toy is going to move right here. And she's going to attempt to stab Rust Risen number 8.
Alright. Give me some attack roll.
Dirty 20.
Yes! That hits.
Sneak attack for 18 damage.
Alright. It survives the blow.
And then I'm just gonna use my bonus action and I'm gonna try to hit it again.
Alright.
We'll see. 425.
Yep.
Let's roll that. It'll be for 3 damage.
Roll me a d6 with no modifiers, please.
A 5.
Okay, this thing also falls to your double stab as you lunge forward, clearing it from the battle. As it falls, slumps, shattered at your feet. That was your move, your bonus, and your action. That brings us to Yrsimagor. One Rust Risen still stands. What would you like to do, Yrsimagor?
I am going to attack recklessly.
Lay waste, my friend. Lay waste. Give me those attacks with
Double
advantage.
17s, that's a 24.
That hits.
Followed by a 19.
That's an 19 hits. Yeah.
And the last one would miss with an 11. So those 2 hits are going to be a 15 and a 10. So 25 damage.
All right. Roll for me, please. A d6 with no modifiers.
I suspect that's not good. That's a 6.
Okay, thank you. All of the rust risen fall around you. And as there is no more movement from these undead creatures, the smell of formaldehyde all around you, you're not even able to catch a breath. What happens next, we'll find out in August. Next session.
Wait. I
We
still have a
to wait
bonus
so
action.
long.
You still have a bonus action. Yeah, you're gonna take a.
I'm
healing
going
potion?
to reach back with the last one slain, grab the healing potion that Veris gave me, and just throw the whole thing back. That's 4d4 plus 4.
4d4 plus
2,
4.
3, 4. Good me dice. We got a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1 for 10 plus 4, so 14 points of healing, which is more HP than what I actually had to begin with, or left with. So, excellent. Yes.
Cool.
Okay. I know it's late, so I'm going to wrap up really quick. Thank you to everybody for hanging out with us. As Vi said, we'll be returning in August, and I believe it's August 5th, will be the return of Skymetal. So watch for us then. Reminder that Mini Terrain Domain will be taking a long rest in July. So no streams in July. Huge thank you, as always, to Vi and these amazing players. Thank you, Vi, Kaeryn, Sara, M, myself, without whom this would just be Vi talking to herself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want. Da-da.